We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Yeah, this is Everton Blender, and it's all about the young police from Jamaica, seeing Young Police Channel. Big up yourself, Everton Blender said that. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Blessed love, Rastafari.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. LGBTQ plus supporters and activists, I want you to know, I am not a supporter and activist for any political party. I am for Team Jamaica. I am going to use this opportunity to show my fellow police officers, current and former, that there is no comparison to the level of criminality by the PNP LGBTQ plus party, which a former member of parliament, Miss Eva Robinson, told the Jamaican people in the 1990s that her party is a criminal organization. Police General, I just want you to wake up your conscience, my brother. A PNP LGBTQ plus member of parliament, Miss Eva Robinson in the 1990s told Jamaica that the PNP LGBTQ plus is not a political organization, it's a criminal organization. So if she is within the party, you, me, we are outsiders, because we are not a part of the hierarchy, and you want to say that she don't know what she's saying, that means you're ignorant. So I just want to educate you and wake up your conscience. I am from the belly of the beast. All we want is a better Jamaica. I am on Team Jamaica. I am not on Team PNP LGBTQ plus, Team PNP or GLP LGBTQ plus. I am on Team Jamaica. So both of them supposed to be a bipartisan effort to rid this country of corruption. But we can see that one party is trying and the other is an ignorance. And that is the PNP LGBTQ plus party. Everything that the government is trying to do to bring changes, they're not in for it. And we're going to show you that when you and others, activists and supporters of the PNP LGBTQ plus party are saying that both political parties are the same, I'm just going to start by just give you a little context. Because I am from the belly of the beast, you understand? Most of you people are country people, and we don't know country people. They used to say that country people are illiterate people, dunce, full. And anytime country people come out and people tell them wild and all them things, and tell them want to be like Lucan. I'm not going to explain why they say Lucan, because most country people never have TV if you know anything about Lucan. So I'm just here about facts that the PNP LGBTQ party does have one of its members who suspected, listen to me, the PMP LGBTQ party does have one of its members who is suspected of taking the 3 points of a High Court judge named Derek Yu, and the master and the same PMP LGBTQ plus supporter and activist is the mastermind who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. His name is Danai Williams and is one of the most influential political activists in the PMP LGBTQ plus party. And I'm going to tell you now about the same Danai Williams. 2 men, John Flash and Tony Brown, who took the 3 points of a permanent secretary who was gunned down in broad daylight. They never Ted Ogilvie that these men killed. And guess what? Tony Brown and John Flash, they fled to Cuba. And when both men returned to Jamaica in 1993, remember that Ted Ogilvie was a government official. And when both men returned in 1993, they returned to East Kingston where he was welcome. These men are these men are murderers, and they returned to New Kingston as heroes in the arms of Danai Williams, Paul Burke and the likes. And they were treated like they were heroes, as if they were fighting a war and they invaded army and they defeat the enemy. So the enemy was a law-abiding citizen. So when you're talking about competing with political parties, it's nonsense. I am not a PNP, I am not a JLP LGBTQ plus activist. But I want you guys, any of you guys, to show me any comparison with this evil. Because there's so many things, Show me any comparison. Show me a JLP LGBTQ plus activist or supporter who have ordered the it and any High Court judge in Jamaica or any judge in Jamaica. Show me one. Show me one or even 2 JLP LGBTQ plus activists or gunmen who have ever taken the 3 points of a permanent secretary of any government organization. Yes, we know that the Labour them kill police, and we know that you understand, we're not denying that, and we don't support them, we burn fire on them. So we continue the journey. So as we tell you now with Danai Williams, one of the most influential political activists in the PNP LGBTQ plus party, the investigating officer of the capital case was his friend. So the case where they killed, they took out Derek Yu, the investigating officer who was investigating that case, in which the mastermind behind it was Danai Williams. That investigating officer is Danai Williams running. That detective is as well here. Imagine that you are the mastermind behind taking another person's 3 point, especially in someone who is a High Court judge, and the judge name is Derek Yu, and the investigating officer is your friend. That bingo, that man. You know you are covered, you won't be questioned by the police. So we're just gonna touch down on Jar Flash. So I'm just giving you context about that man, because you're gonna hear more. Because it's because of these men babies, we're just gonna show these men babies complaining about what about. So I want you guys to give me facts to what about this. I'm just giving you mama papa facts, and I'm giving you from a police perspective, a detective perspective. This is facts. I am not Linval Daly, I am not Garnet Daly, I am not Harry Daly, I am not Renita Adams, and I can go on and on with all of the PMP police activists that I know in the police force. That these people have no conscience, no decency. I'm not no Elon Powell. These people have no conscience and no decency. They have no respect for the rule of law. They took a vote to the Jamaica people, but their vote was to the PMP LGBTQ plus party. That's why you have to understand, you have to be a corrupt police officer to elevate in the ranks of the police force and do things for your political party. I am not that kind of guy. So we're gonna touch on George Flash and Tony Brown, because both men, I have seen both men, yes, with my eyes, I have seen both men in the company of Danai Williams and Detective Inspector Donovan Ox O'Connor, and I can tell you from where I was sitting, both former wanted men had firearm on them. I don't know if they had, I don't know if they were given license on anything is possible in Jamaica, because that's how it is, anything is possible, because you have to understand that it's Jamaica. So I've seen both men in the company. You understand? So these men, they took the 3 point of a permanent secretary, was gunned down in broad daylight. They never stood trial for their crimes, and the PNP LGBT Plus party helped both men escape to our neighbor Cuba, where they stayed until these men returned to Jamaica to an Eras parade in East Kingston. So when you do something like that as a political party, that's a criminal organization, because you're celebrating criminality right there. You understand? These people supposed to be shunned, but they keep big parade and big dance and celebration, and they fire much gunshot in the night and all. And guess what? The police and the military, they're not even there to break it up. Men there firing rifles and stuff. You understand? And police call control, and they were told to stand down. I don't know who give that order. You understand? So remember that these men were accusing of taking the 3 points of a government official. Can someone tell me the name of any JLP LGBTQ plus gunman who killed any government official? Can you tell me the name of a JLP LGBTQ plus member who is suspected of paying men to take the 3 points of a High Court judge? When you are talking about both political parties being the same, you are unconscionable and dishonest, and you are a liar too. Leaders need to be those who follow their conscience and as guided by God. Those who struggle to do the right thing, violating their conscience, should not be considered for leadership. After an alleged hit on Ted Ogilvie, George Flash and Tony Brown fled to Cuba. It was a murder that shocked the nation in broad daylight on June 16, 1977. Hitmen gunned down Edward Ted Ogilvie, permanent secretary in the Ministry of Construction, as he stood at the gate at his Lydia Drive home in Avondale. Ogilvie had gone home for lunch and was returning to his car when 2 men on a motorcycle rode up and shot him twice in the head. 2 policemen and foot patrol later confronted the shooters, but got away after a brief gun battle. First rushed to Medical Associates Hospital, Ogilvie was transferred to the University Hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. Dr. John McCartney, consultant neurosurgeon at the Kingston Public Hospital, would later testify that he examined Ogilvie on the afternoon of June 16, 1977, and found that Ogilvie died as a result of brain damage resulting from bullet wounds. At his death, he has been conducting an audit of a housing project in the deprived East Kingston community of Magara Gully. It was alleged that some $1.9 million was spent on the project in just 6 weeks, apparently overshooting budget targets. It is against that background that in June 1980, a jury of 12, after hearing evidence, convicted former Superintendent of Works, Weston Dyer, of 17 Florida Avenue, Independent City, St. Catherine, on charges of conspiracy to murder and incitement to murder arising out of the death of his ministry permanent secretary. Dyer was sentenced to 10-year imprisonment at hard labor on conspiracy to the 3 points charge, and 6-year imprisonment and incitement to the 3 points charge. the sentence to run concurrently. They should have made his sentence run consecutively. The main witness in the case, Winston Reed, of an East Kingston address, testified in the number 2 Home Circuit Court before late Justice Chambers that on several occasions he had heard the accused Dyer saying to other persons that Ogilvie must dead because the man doing his work, the man is not in the criminality, So because the man is watching the taxpayers' money, and I say, wait, what we spending so much money on, we're over budgeting, we are paying money over the amount already, and another 6 weeks. So because of that now, I say, boy, he must dead. As he was the one who had stopped the money from flowing. Reed, who described himself as Dyer right-hand man. So you see, there's no honest criminal, so all of them riding together. You understand? He said he became acquainted with Winston Dyer during the accused man visits to the McGregor Gully construction site. He said he had ingratiated himself with Dyer, telling him that he knew the runnings around the area and could control the youth man them. Reed's job after that, he testified, was to control the men in the gully and pay them, and that was how he had come to call himself Dyer's finance minister. Hey, I tell you, them guys are easy, that are in his 70s, a criminal, I said, because him control the purse, and him say, my Dyer finance minister. He also said that Dyer was like a father to him, although he never really did any work. So Reed did no work, Reed confessed that he was paid in the sum of between $8,000 and $13,000 per week to be Dyer right-hand man. A whole heap of money, $13,000 Jamaican then, or maybe like a $10 million now, that's how much money the man was making, and he had no work, just to be that done, Reed also told the court about a meeting on Dyer's veranda at 17 Florida Avenue in 1976. He said he heard Dyer make a particular statement in the presence of one Anthony Brown and one Froggy Garden. He said he heard one of the two men say, "It's alright, boss, we take care of the job. Just deal with us direct and leave Reed outside." So George Flash and Tony Brown, you understand? I tell Ogilvie, so one about to deal with Reed, and we just deal with the straight. Ogilvie name was mentioned during the meeting, at which point Reed claimed that he walked out of the meeting and went into the street, asked what he felt the job was. Reed said that he took it mean that Ogilvie would be killed. Reed further told the court that he did not know what Ogilvie looked like, but that one day while they were at the Ministry of Works, Dyer pointed out the permanent secretary to him. Reed said that Dyer had been pushing it and trying to get him to influence some men in the gang he led at the time to kill Ogilvie. Still, he had said that he would be worrying as Ogilvie was no little crib or crabbe man, but a senior government official, and the police would find out even if it took them 10 years. One night in early June 1977, according to Reed, Dyer told him that from December 1976, Ogilvie had stopped paying on contracts and need to be killed as he was preventing the government money from flowing. Reed said he told Dyer he would have nothing to do with the killing. The motorcycle used in the murder also became a pivotal point in the court case. Reed said that he knew the bike, now an exhibit in the case, by calling, which he said had been on his brother's cycle 3 months before he gave it to a man named Liniment of Rosemary Lane. Liniment, a bad name that Rosemary Lane address. Who was the owner of the bike? Reed also said that the gas tank now on the exhibited bike was not the one he had before. When Patrick Atkinson, now Queen's Counsel and Attorney General, asked of the attorney representing Dyer if the cowling on the bike could not have been taken from another bike, Reed replied, I just know this bike differently. Email from 1975, he said. The last time he saw the motorcycle before he came to court was on June 16, 1977 between 3:30 and 4 in the afternoon. Reed said that he was never asked to identify the cycle at any police station. Re-examined by Crown Counsel Warren Richmond about what he had said about the difference in the gas tank, Reed said that the one he remembered from before was green and carried a gauge on the cover. Asked how he had managed to get along because of the cessation of contract and money. Reed told the court that he had enough money and had been living off himself. He disagreed with a suggestion by defense counsel Accusations, another big, another comrade that he bore the accused ill will because he had ceased giving him contract from December 1976 as he Reed had stopped paying his worker. He said he neither hated nor liked Dyer. And this is the same man, so man wicked enough. This is the same man I said earlier that Dyer was like a father to him, but no matter what, he neither hate him nor like him. Boy, I tell you, wicked enough. An alleged eyewitness, 17-year-old student Kiba Tinker, told the court that he had been on his way to school on the day of Ogilvie death when he saw two men on a motorcycle in the vicinity of Ogilvie Lydia Drive home in Evandale. Shortly after that, he heard 5 explosions. He turned around and saw Ogilvie lying across the front seat of his car with blood all over the vehicle. The witness further related how he was summoned to an identification parade at the General Penitentiary in the late 1978. Still, he could not point out anyone as being any of the two men at Ogilvie Gate on June 16, 1977. So the witness said he could not identify none of the men. An application made by defense counsel Atkinson in respect of Tinker's evidence was turned down by Justice Chambers. Atkinson had submitted that due notice still needed to be given by the prosecution to the defense as to its intention to adduce evidence by Tinker, whom counsel said had not testified at the preliminary inquiry. His lordship said he believed the defense had received sufficient notice as the sitting had started 3 days prior. The judge and jury also heard evidence from the late acting Detective Inspector Anthony with a flying squad. Later Tony would become a senior soap, who testified that he had been assisting in the investigations of the murder of Ted Ogilvie and that he had taken possession of a green Honda 354 motorcycle and exhibiting the case from a motorcycle repair shop in Arbor Street. He reported that he could identify the motorcycle by its colors and license plate number if he saw it again. He said he knew Winston Reed and told the court on a cross-examination that he was unaware that Reed had made statement to the effect that he Reed received money and he did not work for. He said Reed had been detained but not in connection with Ogilvie murder. Detective Inspector Cranmar S. King, later Deputy Superintendent in Dead, said he met Reed in January 1978. He also gave evidence that he was aware that Reed had made a statement about receiving money and did not work for it. So Reed get over $20,000 and he never work for it. Boy, I tell you, I won't heap of money at them time. Attorney A.J. Nicholson, who was Queen's Counsel and at one time Minister of Foreign Affairs. He was a member of Dyer's defense team, made a no-case submission on behalf of his client, but his lordship ruled that there was a case to answer. In an unsworn statement from the dock, Dyer denied involvement in Ogilvie murder. He claimed he was innocent. As usual, the jury retired and found Dyer guilty on both counts. Following sentence and appeal was lodged. The Crown's case was represented by attorney Dennis Maraj and Warren Richmond, Crown Counsel. Nicholson with Atkins also appeared with Glenn Cruikshank and Norman Manley for Dyer. For its part, on July 17, 1981, the Court of Appeal, comprising of President Edward Salka, Justice Rowe, and Justice Carey, held that the trial judge had admitted to tell the jury that there was no corroboration in the case, and that might very well have led to the jury regard as corroboration evidence, which did not amount to such. The court held that, in its view, the omission was a severe misdirection that would warrant the conviction being quashed. In setting aside the conviction and sentence, the judge expressed the view that in the circumstances of the case, we feel that the interests of justice dictate a new trial of the appellant. So the trial judge made error. Did not tell them that there was no corroborating evidence in regards to Mr. Reed conspire with John Flash and Tony Brown to dirt the permanent secretary. But Mr. Reed was the Don, and Mr. Reed is the man that said not going along with it. So the other two men take it up on them head, and they went and did it. And the judge, based on the judge error, that's how the court quashed the sentence, and they quashed the sentence and the conviction of Mr. Reed. So that's how things are. You understand? We cannot say that the trial judge is like a Brian Syke, because he did not chastise the police and take it up for Mr. Reed. The judge did his job. It was just that he made one error there according to a new trial order for Dyer, and the application of the late Queen's Counsel Ian Ramsey, who argued Dyer's appeal. Bail was granted. Yeah, so to the appellant, that's that Reed get bail because he was seriously ill and medication he required was not available in prison. But the terms of Dyer bail include showing up at the Cavenagh police station twice a week whenever honored due to illness. It was reported. He died from complication, diabetes, at the Kingston Public Hospital on December 23rd, 1983. The father of 9 had lost both legs at the time of his death. John Flash and Anthony Brown. John Flash, them call him Froggy because I eyes them. 2 alleged PMP LGBTQ activists who had been charged with Ogilvie 3 points, but fled Jamaica reportedly for Cuba in 1980, returned in 1993 when all charges against them were dropped. They were acquitted because the file was discovered to be missing and there was no trace of the statement on the file. Both men have since died. Philip Burrell of a corporate era address, the 4th man charged in connection with Ogilvie murder, who had been committed at the end of the preliminary inquiry in the Gun Court to stand trial in the Home Circuit Court, was free in December 1978. This was after the prosecution told the court that there was insufficient evidence to substantiate the charge. Another process was entered, which being, in a layman's term, a formal notice to abandonment by a plaintiff or prosecutor of all parts of a suit or criminal action in Burrell's favor, and the judge in discharging expressed the hope that the investigation would still be carried out. Before he is being charged with conspiracy to murder and incitement to murder, Dyer had been convicted and sentenced to 12 months imprisonment and 1 count of conspiracy to defraud, 8 counts of forgery and 8 counts of causing money to be paid out, and forged instrument involving $2 million of the Memorial Gully project funds. The late U.D. Garden resident magistrate, later judge of appeal, presided over the trial in the Arbitrary RM Court and passed sentence on Dyer on September 6, 1979. An application before a judge in chamber was later granted bail pending an appeal hearing. While on bail, he was slapped with the charges conspiracy to murder and incitement to murder Ted Ogilvie. So, that is just part one. We give the connection with Danai Williams, Detective Inspector Donovan O'Connor, Detective DSP Aswell here, Anthony Brown, former most wanted man, and George Froggy Flash. So if this is the first time to your channel and you like what you have heard, please subscribe. Click on the notification bell and select all. And whenever we release a video, the Jamaica Young Police channel, you'll be the first to get it. Like the video, share the video, comment below. If you are a student or a person who support the truth, yes, you're going to love what's coming. Because we're not here promoting any political party. We're just here telling you the truth. We just want the PNP LGBTQ plus party to change from a criminal organization to a political organization. Stop supporting criminals, stop empowering them, stop giving them political contract and put money in their coffers and make them rich. Those days is over. We need to stop it. And those are the things, the corruption that's fueling the murder in Jamaica. We need back Jamaica, and we need it back now. We don't want to wait till 50 years in time. Mark Gold and the likes, they are no longer here. But their kids are coming and inherit a worse Jamaica. We want to change the tide, spin it back. You understand? We can see what was going on back then. And it's still going on now. Because remember Dr. Peter Phillips and the PNP government when PJ Patterson was Prime Minister. Donovan Bulby Bennett from Spanish Town was the most wanted man in Jamaica, and he received government contracts valued over $400 million Jamaican dollars. Our man who is wanted signing a contract, he's wanted by the security force, sign a contract with a government, the same government that is security force looking for them. But we see that is not only a political party, a criminal organization that. So we need that to change. We need to change that trajectory. We need Edda Robinson to lead the party, to change it. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police channel out. All the best to you.